Good day and welcome. 2 years ago I made a prime radiant replica. It was a resin 3D print, painted with epoxy primer and gold testers Model Master enamel. It was embedded in smooth-on crystal clear polyurethane in a mold made of acrylic panels. When I started that project, I really did not want to get into finishing the model with a run of increasing sandpaper grits, compounds, etc. So I cheated. I've done this before where I made a mold of acrylic panels for clear resin. I decided to do that for this replica. It's my opinion that there are few things as sexy as a DIY clear casting with perfectly shiny, lustrous facets with no buff marks. I really liked it. I really liked it. Such a nice weight, perfect sides. So I called it done and I've enjoyed it for 2 years. Technically, though, it wasn't done. It was incomplete. I left off the markings from the facets. Glyphs, I called them. I was never in love with those glyphs. I know why the prop master added them, but I just wasn't fond of them. Plus, my glee with how shiny the no-finish sides were biased me against placing them. I didn't really know how I would do them anyway. If you're like me, you've learned there's a time in each build where you just have to step back and call it done. Sometimes you can ruin something by overdoing it even a little bit. I was worried how to apply them. I considered micro-etching with 50 micron aluminum oxide, which leaves a really nice matte image. But then I was worried it would obscure the view of the internal structure. I also considered laser etching, but wasn't excited about etching crystal clear, which is a pretty nasty substance. What was there to lose by trying, though? I might learn something. Of course, I didn't want to ruin this piece I was so pleased with, but I could always make another if it came down to it. I had hoped not to make a lot of work for myself. So I decided to give laser etching a shot. I designed something different for each facet, using whatever reference photos I could find. I have a 60-watt CO2 laser that I set at 4% power and 15 millimeters per second. And what do you know, it worked. However, the laser gummied up the resin and left some smoke marks. Did I fucking ruin it? Fortunately, that crap wiped off with isopropyl alcohol, but it left a tenacious residue. So yeah, I made a lot of work for myself. I didn't think it required all the wet sanding of increasing grits, so I have this automotive compound that I use to buff 2K clears. It worked beautifully. Look at this thing. The glyphs are very discreet and don't obscure the view of the internal structure, not one little bit. They catch the light in a beautiful way and even have a pretty sexy feel to them. So now my replica is complete. I'm so happy that I added the glyphs and nailed down how to do them on the first try. What a pleasing result. For all the foundation fans up there, I hope you can make one of these for yourself. Thank you for watching. Be well.